Hi guys, welcome to my Mythic Fyrakk P1 guide, post-nerf. I'll go through the raid plan as I normally do, and then I'll go through the assignments, and then I'll go through the actual footage, okay? And hopefully by the end of this you'll have a better understanding of P1. Ask me any questions you want to as well in the comments, not a problem. Okay guys, so there's a lot to go through here, and I'll try and timestamp the important stuff on it so you can jump around and stuff, but lots of information to take in, so just try to stick with me. So at the start, we're going to pull the boss down here. Okay, you'll have marks set up, so you'll have a mark here, and you'll have a mark here and a mark here, and I'll show you that in the actual video. But what we need to do here is position the boss here, ready for two abilities. You're going to have the first ability come in, that's the frontal. The frontal can now also be baited by people, so you have little shades that spawn, you see, and what you do is you don't have it on the assignment sheet, but you pick like 3 or 4 range to stand in certain positions around the room. So we had one of our evokers stand by the tank, so when one spawns by there, it doesn't just always go through melee. A mage over here, a hunter over here, a warlock over here, and basically as soon as they see the shade spawn, they run towards it and it will bait towards them, and it does the same frontal as it does on the tank, but obviously you don't want it to go through the middle of the raid or anything like that. So what happens is they go, they bait it, they face it away, no frontals going through the raid. That'll take a bit of getting used to, but those players will learn it quickly and it's not a problem after that. Okay, so yeah, first ability is tank frontal together with other frontals. Make sure they're baited away. You'll see it in the video, not a problem. Okay, so moving on from this, you can see we've had the random frontals come in, and basically we've got the baiters facing them this way. I would always be stood here, and if it came towards, if any of these were facing towards melee or through melee, I would shout one coming through raid or Taylor Swift or something like that. We'd come up with a word and we'd shout it basically if there was one coming through melee. Okay, so next thing, you get the wildfires come in, and you get the little circles that you need to place. Okay, so you can see they're called the Firestorms or whatever they're called, and what you want to do here is you need to make a Nike tick like this: 1 to the right, 1 in the middle, and 2 to the left. Okay, the Nike tick is very important. We always call it a Nike tick. It makes it, well, inverted Nike tick, but it makes it very easy for people to know what shape they need. And yeah, no one should be over here, so we move on. Okay, so you get another set of frontals coming in, so you have your people baiting these away as normal, hopefully this way, this way, this way, absolutely no worries. If it does go this way, and this way, then you just got to shout. Okay, so not a problem. Then you have your first set of soaks coming in. Okay, the soaks are basically more shades, so the mythic difference is you get these shades, they do the frontals or they do the soaks. Okay, and then you have 3 come in, and you want them to be in a nice array like this. Okay, so 1 in the middle, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. Okay, and basically the people that were baiting over this side that are ranged will be in this group. The people that were baiting over this side that were ranged will be in this group, and melee will generally be here or split between the two. Tanks, you can stand in these little crossovers. Make sure you're healthy enough to do it, just to help both groups out basically. So obviously it splits damage, so if you're in both you're going to take a bit more damage, but that's not a problem. Okay, helping out the group is really good there. Okay, so from there what we're going to have is you're going to have another set of wildfires come in, and all of this is going to be filled up with fire. Okay, so here we go. You can see all of this gets filled up with fire. Still got plenty of space. But if you've got like, if you go back here, and let's say one of these were over here, or the Nike tick, like one of these over here, what it will do is it will spawn this fire. It will spawn this fire like out of position. That is not the end of the world. Don't call a wipe from it. You can fix it with the nerf to the health. It's fine and recoverable. Do not panic at that point. But anyway, you get here. Okay, you have a new set of frontals coming in. Tank frontal, other frontals. And you have some blazers coming in, and you have the frontals with those. So you make sure that you just stand still with the blazers, you don't panic or anything like that. You let the wildfires go down. None of your melee gets clipped by being greedy stood here. They get out, and then you move into your first run. Okay, so what happens is these are all down. Your our DK tank, so I tank first, DK tank second, and then it always means that the DK can do the pull-ins from the Dream Rends because they don't get pulled in because DKs have a magic ability. Okay, so what happens is all of these come down. Okay, your DK tank will stand in the fire, not when it spawns. They can drag it in afterwards. Stand there so melee can still hit its back. Okay, and then we wait for the Dream Rend to go out, turn it around. We all run to star. Melee will follow the boss. Okay, we all run to star. And then you're in a position to start your next run. Okay, so we all run over to star. Okay, and you have this new ability from the Dream Rend where there's loads and loads of like swirlies that spawn. Okay, so we get here. We'll have a weak aura, and like I said, all of the weak auras and even this raid plan, I'll link all in the description. Okay, so make sure you go and check it out. We run up to star. Okay, from star, these swirlies are going to start spawning up, because they focus the group. Okay, up. No one can stand here. No one can stand here. No one can stand here. If you do that, one of the swirlies are going to, you know, shoot over here, shoot over here. You have to be stacked as a group. Okay, and the weak aura will give you a line, and then when it hits the first line, you start stutter stepping. And you make sure that you stutter step up here, okay, up here towards green. And then when that line finishes, you can YOLO run, all right? It's really important that no one gets ahead of the group or that no one stands down here thinking they can cheese it. They might get lucky once or twice, but it won't work overall. Okay, so these lines come out, they come out, they come out, they come out, they're going up. You stutter step over to here, you have your speed boost and stuff, and as soon as it's finished, you YOLO leg it, okay? As soon as that happens, blazes are going to spawn. And this is a dangerous time. If you need to use a health zone, a health pot, a cooldown, just do it. The idea is to survive. It doesn't matter about not having that for P2 or intermission or anything like that. You need to get through P1 safely first, and then you can think about that later on, okay? Okay, so as saying here, you're going to have blazes come out. What we tend to do here is we'll run over here. Everyone that has a blaze sort of stands up here and plants as soon as they can see they're safe. You might still run for like a second while you've got blaze, but as long as you plant before it goes off, not as it's going off, that's not going to help anyone. But plant with your blaze, okay? And make sure that you can run up and down the line or horizontally on the line that you've got so it doesn't go towards other people. But essentially, you run over, blazes will stop, everybody else will carry on down here. And if you're in danger of any sort, you use a cooldown. It's as simple as that, okay? The tank might end up having to stop here because they have blaze, and then that can sort of cause some issues, but it has to happen. Essentially, you can't do anything about it. So if you've managed to survive the run and the blazes, that was a really hard part of P1, so well done. And the next part is essentially Firestorms come in, and you put 4 lines down. There is actually Frontals before this, but I'm sure you know how to deal with them by now. So yeah, you'll have Frontals come in and you'll bait them in good directions, just after the blazes, dangerous time again, and then you'll have the WildFire come in with the Firestorms, and you want to put these 4 Firestorms in this line here next to your Nike tick. Okay, nice and simple. Okay, so as we've done these Firestorms and we move the boss sort of over to this position here, okay, there will be some more Frontals coming in. That you obviously want to survive and you obviously want to bait out, and then after those Frontals you go into the soaks again. Okay, really important that people aren't disorientated at this point and they know where they're going, and especially the 3 people that get this aren't like all over here and messing around. They know that they've got to be in position in this little bit. There's your Nike tick from earlier, there. Okay, so the tank gets into position and your tanks can go here and here again. Not a problem. And then essentially they come in, you absorb them all, and then this next part is just survive. Okay, so you will have new wildfires spawn, but before that, in between here, you have another set of blazes, okay, and another set of Frontals. You just survive this set of blazes and Frontals. If you need to stop DPSing and just survive, you just do that. So in between here and here, before all of these spawn, basically, you'll be stood here, you'll have just done the soak. You'll move out and you'll have all of this spawn, okay, and essentially, yeah, you'll just want to survive. You'll be around here somewhere and you just want to survive the blazes and the Frontals. Just don't die, okay? Doesn't matter if you're not damaging at that point. No, the nerf to the health makes it a little bit better, okay? Okay, so we're really near the end of P1 now. So essentially what you're going to have here is, I've done the Frontal down here, I've done the WildFire, we've moved here. Your blood DK is going to run into the fire. So we ask a cooldown from a monk or something, sack normally, to go on the BDK as they're running. They run over here, okay, and they're by a warlock portal. What happens is this little boy here will cast again, the Dream Rend, and it'll be facing this way. Everybody else in your raid at this point, you're not trying to damage the boss. You're all stacked up on this route or green. Up to you. It's whatever you want. We stack up on this route. We like it better. We don't go this far across. So we stack up on this route, everyone. And the Dream Rend goes down. Okay. So we've been from here. Your blood DK or whatever your tank doing this goes here. Okay. They run over and the rest of the raid runs here. Your tank that's doing this basically lets the Dream Rend get cast up here, gateways, and then gets life gripped. Okay. So gateway life grip keeps them safe, keeps them not worried about anything. And then essentially I would taunt off because they will have 2 stacks at this point. And you don't want to be running across here with 2 stacks after they've just used probably a cooldown to survive this bit. So we all get en route, gateway, life grip for the tank, I taunt, and then we do the exact same thing as we did before. Okay, we stutter step from here and you stay high. You do not let people go down here. You stay high. You watch the line. When it starts stutter stepping, you go, and you've got the whole line. So high, 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 high. Okay, and then when it finishes, you can run down here. Blazes will happen at this time, exactly like the first run. Blazes will stand still or move a little bit, and everybody else runs further. Okay, and then essentially after that, if you've survived the run and you've survived the blazes, you'll take boss down here and you'll have another set of mechanics coming in. Okay, so this, I don't think you'll get to this, but essentially what happens is you come over here, you have a set of blazes during the run, and then you have 2 mechanics that if they cast will go off together no matter what, and it's a good time to push the boss's health, because let's say you're at 70.5%, if you cast them, he will be in a chain of casting them and won't stop, and you can get him to like 68, 67, 66, something like that. So you go over, okay, you do these 4 wildfires. Okay, what we've said to our players, because sometimes it can be quite hard, on the edge is fine. You can also put them in the middle if we've got space. Just try and avoid these areas here because they're not going to get cleared. These 2 will spawn fine, but if you can manage to put them sort of in here where the boss is going to jump, they will get cleared, and that is a good thing in my opinion. But yeah, so essentially you'll have the blazers finish, a set of frontals to deal with that come in. Obviously you want to bait them away. This one is quite a dangerous one because people are all over the place, so if there is a frontal going through the raid, you just have to be very, very clear with it. And then you'll have these 3 firestorms placed, and then after these 3 firestorms placed, I think you should be pushing him. Okay, if you're not pushing him, then you probably won't get these. You'll get another set of frontals, okay, that you just deal with and then push him afterwards. When you're first doing the phase, it's possible that you get to these and you need to do the soaks here, but as you do the phase more and more and more, this won't happen. Okay, you will have the DPS to get past this, and you won't need to worry about it. So that is P1 for the raid plan. I'll go through the assignments now, and then we'll go through some footage, okay? Alright guys, so the assignments for P1 aren't actually that intense. There's loads of assignments, but P1 is just these 2. So essentially, the Flame Dispel order isn't really that important anymore. I still have it, like it's still very good, but because there's only a few dispels going out now compared to what they used to be, your healer should be pretty on top of it. But have it, it tells you when to dispel, who to dispel, it tells people when to use their dwarf racial, so that's really, really good. So make sure you do have this, and yeah, you just put whatever order you think is best in. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. You just put your 4 healers, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's less dispels going out as there used to be. It's not really an issue. People don't get that high on stacks, and when they do get high on stacks, it will tell them dwarf racial, or they should be getting dispelled anyway. This is the main thing that you need to worry about, and it's the soaks that come in. So you need 3 groups, one in the middle, one on the right, one on the left. Right from the start, okay, please make sure that you are putting the range that are baiting on the side equivalent to the side that you've got them soaking in. If you're putting someone baiting an ad on the right hand side of the platform and then telling them to go and soak an ad as the cleave on the right hand side or the left hand side, whatever the opposite is of the platform, it's not going to work. So you really need to think about that while you set it up, okay? Also, with your raid, right from the start, let them know what right means, what left means. Middle's fine. If you need to change this to outside and inside, fine. But honestly, this is a pain point, and I don't know why, but you need to make sure you're saying, looking at the seed, this is right, this is left, okay? And just get that in their head before you even tell them what side they're on. Make sure they are sure on what right is and left is, and you're fine. The only other thing to go through about this is the ranged that you're setting up with baiting the frontals. You don't need to add that to any weak aura or anything. You just need to pick your range that you trust, give them positions to stand around the boss, and tell them, you go bait this frontal here, you go bait this frontal here. You also need to let melee know that if one spawns near them and a ranged is trying to bait it, please move away from it. If they don't move away from it, they're going to bait it. It's going to go straight through the raid, and if you've not got a call, it's going to cause you issues. So that's one thing to note, is make sure your melee are not just slapping the boss and not looking at where the frontal spawn. If one spawns near them and a range is trying their hardest to bait it away from them, let the range bait it away from them and move away. Don't just bring it through melee. But yeah, for P1 assignments, there's not really much to think about, really. It's just get your range in a good position, make sure that you're using the weak aura for the flame dispel, and be very clear on what right and left means, and pick good positions for people based on where they are baiting. Cool. Okay, so you can see, start of the fight, I pull it over, not a problem, in between all the marks, and we get ready for the first set of frontals. So in come the first set of frontals, and you can see the little boys spawn. That's what they look like. That's what people will be looking to bait. Okay, and then they get cast, they go off. There's one through melee, so I'll have shouted one coming through melee, and you'll just see a range perspective here of how well and easily it can be done if you're in the right spot. So there it is, run towards it, bait it, not going through. Easy, nice. Okay, then you get your Nike tick. So here comes your Nike tick. You can see we spread out perfectly. Nice, there is one behind there, but nice, perfect tick. And we get ready to move over. During this run, you'll see more frontals come out, and you'll see a hunter again. Perfect, goes and baits it, no danger for melee. Lovely. And then we get ready for our first set of soaks. So here we go. You can see me tanking it. I stand in between the two of them so I can get both of the debuffs, and I help both teams because this team's a bit short. You can see that I'm going to get 2 stacks of debuff, so in a little bit of danger, but I'm not dead, I'm fine. I then turn it around and be ready for another set of frontals, another set of blazes. If you're a tank here and you have like a couple of frontals going through you, you probably want to use a cooldown here. It's getting your second stack, it's quite scary. Okay, so ready for the first Dream Rend. Melee, hit the boss as much as you can here, but obviously don't get sucked in. You can see here at the top is the weak aura bar, and we're going to move over, and you can see when it gets to this line here, that's when you start stutter stepping, and you stay nice and high. Over you go, over you go. No one gets caught. Over, over, over. One person got caught, it's fine. Now it's done. Now you can YOLO run. Now blazes can stand still, and everybody else can YOLO run to find safety. All right, not a problem. Switching to a range perspective, so you can see nice baits, and then already in position for the next set. So here comes the Firestorms again, perfect, all in a line, brilliant. And then move out and another set of frontals, and hopefully would be in a position for a frontal, but if one doesn't spawn, then you're just in a position for the next mechanic. So fine, in position for the next mechanic. You got the soak coming in. Again, you're in your 3 groups, tanks go in between. You can see I'm in between there. Move out, and then you have 2 more abilities and the WildFire coming in that you just need to survive. Another frontal bait there, which is really well done, and then just survive, 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 and you're running towards the root while your blood DK goes and does their business. So you can see up here, our blood DK has spawned that, and they're going to gateway, and then they're going to get life gripped, and then I'm going to pick up the boss. Okay, then we're going to run up, up. You stay up, you do not go down. You stay up, 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 up until that gets to the end, and then you can YOLO it. You can see I move here, but I get a blaze, so I plant, and then I move boss afterwards, so the frontal's not in everybody's face. New frontals, new baits. So here, you can be below 70%. If that frontal cast starts, he will continue doing this Firestorm cast, and this is where you can really like push some health percentage, essentially. We didn't do great in this pool, but we have got it down as low as 66. So that's the general boss P1 guide. I said I'll make everything available in the video. And yeah, if you've got any questions, just ask. Otherwise, thank you. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks, guys. As always, a special thanks to those that helped me. I really appreciate it. Good luck in P1, and go smash it.